Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Sport World with Mayo. It feels good to be back. I think Premier League is actually back. There was a lot of ups and downs in the transfer window, though it was quite interesting and obviously a lot of big clubs strengthened their teams, especially from the Premier League, the Arsenal, the Chelsea, the Liverpool, the Man U. So it's obviously that every team in the Premier League is actually ready to go in this particular season. Before the league kick off, I think the league is going to kick off today, which is Friday, Liverpool versus Bournemouth. I need to put out my own Premier League prediction table. Rival fans, it's just a prediction. It's not like what will happen, just a prediction. And it can happen, it cannot happen. So let's just enjoy it, and that's all. I will start from my 20th, from 20th to the 1st, and I'll give you reasons why I feel this team we finish this particular position, and this team will not. So that's just it. For my 20th position, I think I will say Burnley. Not because Burnley are not a very good team. I think they are. It's just that it's very difficult for newly promoted team to excel in the Premier League. Burnley have not really strengthened the team. They bought few players like Broja, I think Kyle Walker, and very few players to strengthen their team, but I don't think it's still enough to keep them in the league. So I'll say Burnley. For number 19, I will say Leeds. Leeds, owing that they finished very strong in the Championship, but because there is still uncertainty about their manager, Daniel Farke, I think having this internal crisis, imagine you promoting a team, but your team management is still not sure whether you keep them. So obviously, one bad result, tendency that you will be out of the door is high. So I think I would say Leeds. The strengthening, not much of a new signing. They just chip in one or two. So I don't really think it's still good enough that will keep Leeds in the Premier League. I think number 18. It seems everybody is going to. Everybody feels this particular team has what it takes to stay in the Premier League. Even if they lost their best player, Matheus Cunha, lost Nuri to Man City. I believe in the manager, but I just feel they overstayed their welcome in the league. I don't think they will stay more than this season. My number 18 team is going to be Wolves. 17, they strengthened very well. I think they are the team that strengthened the most in the Premier League. Sunderland, from the newly promoted team, they are the team that strengthened the most. They bought a lot of players, bought Adingra, Xhaka, and so many players that I can't even remember. I think they spent close to 120 million pounds, something like that, so far for the transfer window. And that is remarkable for a team that is coming up from the Championship. It's obviously that they have an ambition to stay long in the league. So I would say Sunderland. They will just escape little, but they will still fight for relegation. So I would say Sunderland. My number 16 team is Brentford. Brentford have been a well-drilled, solid team in the Premier League for the past few seasons, owing that they have a very tactical, brilliant manager, Thomas Frank. But losing him this transfer window, losing Mbeumo, about to lose Wissa, losing their captain Noga to Arsenal, that's like core of the spine of the team, like the backbone of the team, almost gone. The current manager is the set piece manager, Keith Andrews, but I don't think he has gathered enough experience that will keep them in the league. But we will see. I still feel they're a solid team. I still feel because of the Premier League experience, they will still stay put in this league. That's why I'm putting them in the number 16th position. Yeah, from number 15, West Ham. West Ham has not really strengthened enough in the window. Even if they had a very good preseason, like I think is in from they have a good preseason. Players like Fulcrum, Paqueta, Bowen, these are the core spine of the team. They still adding Callum Wilson, which is free transfer from Newcastle. I think they still have Mikel Antonio too, if he comes back from his long-term injury. I still feel they are still a solid Premier League team. They have a very good manager, Graham Potter, that will keep them. But I still feel West Ham fans should demand more. The team is not where it should be. They should have upgraded more than the level they are. But 15th position is not good enough for them to stay up in the league. Number 14th position. My number 14th position, I feel, is Fulham. I love Fulham. I love the manager. They have very good players. They didn't sell. They didn't recruit much for now, so far from the window. But I feel they should have added a lot of other new faces in the team, knowing that they are actually going for Reece Nelson of Arsenal. They want to bring him back to Fulham. But I still feel it's not still enough. A lot of teams in the Premier League are really strengthening their squad. So I feel they should have added a lot of other new faces. And I am hearing rumor that they will lose Rodrigo Muniz. So that's not a good look for Fulham to lose an attacker. So I feel they should add more. But for now, they are a solid Premier League team and they are still more than good enough to stay put in the league. My number 13 team is Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, solid Premier League team, wonderful team. Their success last season was not expected, but it got a lot of success last season, winning the FA Cup, winning the Community Shield. That was a real morale booster. But I'm going for them to finish number 13 because, first of all, they are a mid-table club, solid manager, good team. Even if they are going to lose two of their key players this coming transfer window, maybe Gueye to Liverpool or maybe Eberechi to Arsenal or Spurs, I still feel they still have a core spine of that team that will still keep them up. And they can even still sign one or two players before the deadline transfer day. So I still feel Crystal Palace is more than good enough. Owing to they are going to play Europe balancing Europe and Premier League is not easy. So I feel 13 is more than good enough for them. By my number 12 team, 12th position team is Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, they are like the overachievers last season. They performed so good last season that nobody saw it coming. They were so good. But this season is going to be quite different. Even if they lost only just one player so far, I think they lost Elanga, then they lost Danilo to Bizano Flamingo at Bia. I think it's one of the Brazilian leagues too. But they still have a very good manager, they have a very good squad, and they are also in Europe. They are in Europa League with Premier League. That is a two different league to balance. Europa League is more difficult and more demanding. Even if I don't feel they will win the Europa League, I feel they have a good team to go far. They have a very good team to go far from it. They will still have to balance the Premier League, so it's not going to be easy for them. They don't have enough squad depth and technical know-how to balance both these two competitions. So I feel they will finish 12th position is more than good enough for them. Yeah, more than good enough for them. Yeah, my number 11 team. Yeah, my number 11 team, I would say Everton. I think the coming of David Moyes has been a revelation for the Everton people, fans, and the board. A solid Premier League manager, and he's strengthening very well. The signing, I think Grealish, signing some other good players. I can't even remember all of them, but I think they signed him very good. Dewsbury, yeah, I remember Dewsbury from Chelsea. That's a perfect signing for Everton. Grealish too. Like, I think they're still about to sign a striker. There's one striker from I think he's from Nice. From Nice or Lens. They're about to sign. Like, they're making good additions to the team, and owing that they're going to play this Premier League season in their new stadium, I think there will be a lot of morale booster, a lot of fans will be motivated. Everybody, the Everton players too will be motivated, new facility, new everything. So I think it's going to be a very fantastic season for Everton. But I still feel they are more than good enough to finish 11th position. I think it's still more than good enough. Then my number 10 team, I think it's Bournemouth. Bournemouth are a very good Premier League solid team with a manager that I rate very high. I think their manager is very good. Even if they will lose some players. I think they are going to lose Dango Tara to Brentford. They're still going to lose. They lose their whole back line. Hudson, Zembi, and Kekes. Like, they're going to lose a lot. They lost almost 3 of their major main defenders. But I rate the manager so high that I don't think it's going to be a problem for them, and they will still replace They will still replace them well, even if they may not be up to the level of those other defenders that left. But I still feel they will replace them very well. So Bournemouth finishing 10th position. Yeah, I'm sure they will finish 10th position. For number 9 position, I'm tempted to choose between Brighton and I think Brighton and Newcastle, because I feel Brighton not having any Europe, just one game a week, they will be better. They will be more solid. Even if they're going to lose Baleba, they have lost Joao Pedro, but Brighton is this kind of team that they replace very, very well. They replace very, very well. They're a very good team. Like, they're a very good team to replace. Like, they replace very good. Like, even if they lose Baleba, I think they will still have another player that they will still replace him with Issa. So I will pick Brighton. Yeah, I feel Brighton. I'll pick Brighton. Yeah, Newcastle is more of a high level team than Brighton, but I feel I'm contemplating it because of the Europe Newcastle is going to have. Newcastle is having Champions League football, balancing Champions League football and Europa and Premier League is quite difficult, owing that they are going to lose Alexander Isak and maybe they will replace very well. But even if they will replace, it's not going to be the level of Alexander Isak. So I could easily say Newcastle. Yeah, I'll say Newcastle because bouncing Champions League football is very difficult. I think Newcastle will finish 9th position. Then for my number 8th position, I would say Brighton. Brighton's solid team. The manager now have full season to his bet. He came in last season and he performed very well. But this season now, like the way I said, I trust him. I trust the recruitment of that team. They will recruit very well, even if they lose players. They lost Esputinha to AC Milan. I think they lost Joao Pedro. So I feel they will replace them very well. So they are more than good enough to finish in the number 8. Then number 7 is Spurs. I choose Spurs because, first of all, it's not like I don't rate the manager. I rate the manager. They have a very good team too, but Champions League football is so difficult to balance. Like, it's so difficult. You have to be playing 2 games a week. 2 games a week. It's so difficult. And we are going to play your first team players. You will play that same first team players in the Premier League, first team players in Champions League. So injury can come up, a lot of things can come up. So I feel Tottenham with their level of squad and the manager, I feel they are more than good enough to finish in the 7th position. I think they will finish 7th position because maybe they can finish 7th position and win a cup, which is a fine season for Tottenham. So I think it's good enough for them to finish 7th position. Then number 6th position, I will say, my number 6th position is Aston Villa. Yes, Aston Villa. Sorry. Aston Villa, Unai Emery, good players. So far, they only lost one player, which is Jacob Ramsey. And I feel they will still sign one more player. I think even if it's not maybe an attacker, because they lost they loaned him from Rashford last season and with Asensio, it's all over. I think they will need to sign one more attacker. I know PSR issue has been their problem, that's why they can't make any tangible signing, but they will still have to, even if it's a loan deal, before the end of the season, they will have to get one more attacking player. I think Aston Villa is It's one team playing one game a week with that fantastic squad. I think they don't have any issue. They still have Europe. I don't think it's one game a week. I think they have Europe. Yeah, I think they're going to play Europa. But they have a very balanced team. They have a very balanced team. I rate them. I rate the manager very, very high. I didn't rate my man very, very high. So I think Aston Villa will finish number 6th position. My number 5th position is Manchester United. They signed very well. Signed the likes of Cunha, Mbuemo, Sesko, and they are still about to get Baleba. I feel they'll finish 5th position because of where they finished last season. Jumping from 15th to 5th, that's a very huge jump. But Manchester United is just playing one game a week, and I think they will be way, way better more than what they produced last season. They'll be way, way better. We will see a lot of attacking football from them. Last season, they barely scored goals. They were struggling to score goals because if you look at their front three, you see basically there was no goals there. But this season, they have a very beautiful attack. First, I think they might be even one of the top 3. Their attack will be one of the top 5 or top 6 attack in the Premier League this season. So I feel they will score goals. They will get goals, but my only problem in Manchester United is their midfield, and they are about to address it. I think once they beat for Baleba, they will now have a stable, ball-winning midfielder in the midfield. So I think Manchester United finishing 5th, getting European football will be a good season for Amorim. Yeah, I think it will be a good season. Maybe next season they will see to strengthen more, and maybe they will go for proper top 4 race, or maybe go for the league. So let's see how it goes, but I feel they'll finish 5th position. They'll finish 5th position. Then the number 4 position, I feel, is Man City. It's not like I'm underrating Man City. At least the fear of Pep Guardiola is one thing that every one of us have to be scared, because we all know who is Pep Guardiola. But Man City is going through a lot of transition, a lot of new players in that team. Most of the players have not actually gelled very well. Maybe across the season they will gel, but Premier League is a league that you not even have enough time for yourself to gel. So I feel Man City is still going through transition. They will still be, their defense too is ups and down. They don't have a stable, balanced defense. A lot of injuries in their defense, and even with that injury, I think a lot of their players are not really looking motivated anymore because they have already won everything. So I think Pep is going to now, these new players now is not going to be the players that we now pick up the motivation anymore. And picking up motivation, Premier League doesn't wait for you, and before you know, they will kick off. So I feel 4th position, maybe with a trophy. It's okay, good season for Manchester City. Number 3 position, I feel it's Chelsea. Yeah, people ask me, why do you feel Chelsea will finish higher than Man City? Yeah, Chelsea has a very balanced team. I think Chelsea is one team that are in Premier League currently. I'm scared of their growth, because that Chelsea team, looking at them, in the next 2 to 3 years, or 2 years more, they will compete for that league. They will compete for the Premier League. And I feel for now, they are not good enough yet to compete for the league, because there are other factors before you compete for the league title. First of all, you need an experience to compete for the league. You need a stable, let me say you need a world-class goalkeeper. Then you need a world-class defense for you to compete for the league very, very well, and stay put for the league race for a very long time. but the Chelsea team is still, they are a very good cup team. Like now, I can't dispute the fact that Chelsea can, as Champions League is, Chelsea can win it because Champions League is a cup team. FA Cup, Chelsea can win it because it's a cup team, it's a cup competition. Carling Cup, Chelsea can win it because it's a cup competition. But for the league, consistent for 38 games, I don't think, and they have a lot of new additions. Even if those players were exciting players, the likes of Joao Pedro, Milan Delap, Gittins, maybe they will add Garnacho, they will add Estavo and some other players too. But there is a lot of new players in this team, so I feel they will still need time to grow in the league. League title is very difficult to win, especially the Premier League is very difficult to win. So I feel Chelsea finish third. Maybe go far in the Champions or even win the Champions League because they are a Champions League team. They can win completely. They just won the Club World Cup, so winning the Champions League might not be a difficult thing for them to win. So I rate Chelsea very high. So I feel they finish third, owing that they're playing Champions League and Premier League together because they have not played. This couple of players now have not played Champions League and Premier League together. They have not played proper two competitions. Last season they played in the Conference League. They were resting half of their players and playing the second team in the Champions League. But now these same players, the first team players now are going to play the Premier League and still play the Champions League. So the experience is not yet there. But because I rate the team very high, I feel third position is more than enough for them to finish. Second position, non-bias aside, I feel it's Liverpool because retaining the league title is very, very difficult. People underestimating Premier League. Retaining the Premier League title is very, very difficult. I know Liverpool make a lot of signings. They sign Vets, they sign Ekitike, they sign Hugo Ekitike, they sign Vets, they sign a lot of other players, Frimpong. That's a lot of change. Liverpool is lose 5 of their key members that won the league last season. 5. So losing 5 players and bringing 5 new more players, it's not so easy like that to pick up. I know they still have their core spine of their team, the last of McAllister, they have the last of Salah and Van Dijk. If Salah is not having that explosive season he had last season, it's going to be very difficult for Liverpool to retain the league title. Salah needs to be on that same level he was last season for Liverpool to retain the league title. Definitely Ekitike, maybe adding Isak to adding all those other players, they will contribute, but I still feel there's still something missing. A lot of too many changes. Yeah, I know Frimpong, every other players will contribute. Frimpong, some people are even having doubt about Frimpong. They're saying he's not really a good right back, but we'll see how it goes. Their defense, there's still instability in their defense, but they need Salah and Van Dijk needs to be on a very, very high level for Liverpool to retain the league title. But I still feel they are good enough. They will fight for the league, definitely. The league is not going to be a walk in the park, but I feel they will finish second. Maybe a good Champions League run, or even winning the Champions League because they have more of a balanced team to still win the Champions League too. My number 1 pick is Arsenal. Not because I am an Arsenal fan or I am this one. I'm going to give you my reasons why I feel Arsenal is going to win it. First of all, this is a team that has been together for a very long time. No change. The only change happens more often in the midfield, and the midfield It's not like the main, it's not like the midfield, the two spine of the midfield are still there, Odegaard and Declan Rice. But the only change in that midfield is Zubimendi, to me, which is like a little bit of our upgrade to Thomas Partey. Not because upgrade Thomas Partey in terms of high level, but I feel in terms of the strength, Thomas Partey is getting older. There are some kind of balls that he's good with the ball, but in terms of chasing down, collecting back the ball, Thomas Partey does not have that strength anymore. Zubimendi is more energetic, strong, and he still has that same vision that Thomas Partey have when it comes to with the ball. So I feel the core of the midfield is there. The defense is already there. No change from the defense. The goalkeepers there too. Instead, even add a good backup goalkeeper to Raya. Backup from the defense. Defense last season is not even the same because Tomiyasu was nowhere to be found. Now they have a good backup to Saliba, which is Mosquera. They have like the stability in the defense is so good. Stability in the midfield is so good. Then the attack has always been the problem. Saka now, Madueke being a backup to Bukayo Saka. Now they have a real gun man, which is Vitor Gokores, that will strike, that we all know is a go-getter. He knows how to score the goals, and definitely Arsenal will create a lot of chances for him to score. From the only problem maybe people will say is from the left wing, and I feel before the end of the transfer window they will address that, or even if they didn't want to address that, I don't think Martinelli and Trossard is so bad that they are not good enough to go. They have been the same set of players that have been going for the same league title. So why do you feel to this all of a sudden now they are bad? No, I don't think they are bad. I've always said it that the striker have been the Arsenal's problem, and they got it this time around. And they still imagine having Havertz had have been the striker ever since. Now having him as a backup to a real number 9. So I feel Arsenal has one of the they have the most balanced team in the Premier League currently the most balanced team. Everywhere is sealed, everywhere is stable. Maybe people say the left wing, but okay, let's say if they add now to the left wing, maybe let me say if Trossard leave, they will not have to add one of the left wing player, maybe Ademola Lookman, Rodrigo, any of them, maybe even Eberechi Eze. That's still a level that will still keep Arsenal in the league. So I feel finishing second 3 times. Now adding a lot of good players to this team, a lot of squad depth have always been the problem. Adding a lot of squad depth to the same team, I feel Arsenal have the chance to win the league. My other team, I think obviously goalkeeper with the golden boot, I feel is Raya because of Arsenal's stability in the defense. I feel Raya is still going to win the golden boot, which is pretty lucky, and not just lucky, he's a good goalkeeper too. Last season he made a lot of saves. I think Raya gave Arsenal some, 10 to 11 points as a goalkeeper last season. So it's not like he's not doing his job. He's doing his job properly. Golden boot. I mean, the dilemma between this golden boot winner. I think there will be Salah there. There will be Haaland there. There will be Salah there. I don't think Isak is going to win golden boot. I don't think, even if he signs for Liverpool, I don't think he's going to win golden boot. Salah still remains the main man. So I feel Salah, Haaland. I can't put Gokores. I don't think Gokores is going to win the golden boot. So I think my golden boot winner is going to be Haaland. Yeah, it's going to be Haaland. The player of the season. Obviously, if Arsenal wins the league, no one else is going to win the player of the season, no less than Bukayo Saka. I see him winning the player of the season. He's more than due enough to win it. He won the Young Player of the Year before. Now it is done. I feel if Arsenal wins the league, he's going to win the player of the season because it's going to be a key factor in Arsenal winning the league if it's going to happen. Manager of the season, obviously, the manager that wins the league is going to be manager of the season. Young player of the season. There's really exciting young players. Miles Lewis Kelly is there. I think Itawan Neri is there. Lenny Yoro of Manchester United is going to have a very big season if he stays fit from injury. He's going to have a very good season. I think Vets too. Even Hugo Etike if he performs very well, he's going to still have a very good season. So a lot of young players, but I'll still pick Miles Lewis Kelly. He's going to be, this season he's going to have a full season and he's going to play on a different level. So thank you guys for this particular prediction video. Like I said, it's just only prediction. You can always put your own prediction down in the comment section. Thank you and God bless.